installed on this website, so I already have some that have been created here. Yours will just be blank here though until you create them. So I'm just going to show you how to create a QR code. So let's just go test, and next we will choose the URL type. There's a number of different types here. You can use just a URL, which means people who scan the QR code will be taken to our URL. You can have a text message open instead. You can have contact details open instead. You can have an email address and email message open up on their phone. You can have a phone number open on their phone, or when they scan it, you can have an SMS open on their phone. So you can go through, you'll see that the options change here for each of these because different information is stored in each code. For this one, I'll just use a URL, and we will just go to google.com for this one. Now this tracking feature here, and this is a feature that is only available for the URL one because it only makes sense for the URL one. And what happens is if you leave this unticked and we just go save, basically when someone scans this QR code, they're going to be taken straight to google.com, and that's how a normal QR code works. But if we click this tracking button here, what happens is when someone scans this QR code, instead of being taken to google.com, first of all, they're going to be taken to a short link on your URL. So this will automatically create a short link on your URL. And when people scan the QR code, they're going to go to that short link, then to google.com. Now, there's two reasons why this is important. First of all, if you wanted to come back in and change the URL that people are taken to on this QR code, let's say you already had the QR code printed in flyers, offline flyers or something like that. If you wanted to change the page that people are taken to when they scan the QR code, that would mean a new QR code would have to be placed in all those flyers. So you'd have to replace the QR code wherever else you've installed it. But by doing this, by taking people to the short link first and then redirecting them to this URL here, we can then come back in here later and edit this URL, the destination URL here. And when we do that, we don't need to update the QR code because remember, the QR code is taking people to the short link, and then the short link is redirecting them to this URL. So the short link never changes, so the QR code never needs to change. But you can come in here and edit the destination URL as many times as you want. So that's going to save you a lot of hassles and a lot of time. And you'll see here I've already got a URL one created here. If I click on edit, you'll see the details come up here, and it's just a matter of changing that URL. I'll change that. Get rid of the 2, click save, and you'll see that the URL has been saved here, but the QR code image here will not have changed. So that's the first reason you want to select this tracking. Second reason with this tracking is that it allows you to track the number of scans, because usually if someone scans a QR code and it takes them straight to the website, there's no way for you to track that. But because they're coming to the short link on your website and being redirected, we can now track every person who scans that QR code. So if I was to click on tracking here, you'll see that today we've had one person scan this QR code, and that was me. And it will show the exact number of people who have scanned the QR code. It also has a 24-hour cookie, which means that if the same person scans within a 24-hour period, it's only going to show as one scan because you don't want to have unrealistic numbers here if the same person is scanning the same code a number of times. By having that the tracking option enabled there, it's going to allow you to track the number of scans. You can show your offline clients how many scans their QR code is getting. You can break it down by day. So if we click on the tracking here, up the top you can click in the date range field here. You can choose last 7 days, month to date, year to date, or you can go in and put in specific dates and show them exactly how many scans the QR code has been getting so that they know how effective it's been working. Now, I just want to reiterate that the tracking feature only works for the URL QR codes. So for all the other ones here, you'll see there's no tracking option, and that's because they're not going to URLs, so the tracking option makes no sense at all, and there's no way for us to track them when they're not going to a URL first. So that's exactly how it works. You can come over here, you can edit them, you can delete them. If I wanted to delete that, I could delete that. And once the QR code has been created, you'll see here it's got the details of the QR code just so you can more easily keep track of the ones you've got. And if we click on the image, the thumbnail image here, it opens up the QR code image. You'll see that right there. So I could then just scan it just to test it. You don't actually need to save it like that though. You can just click on Save Image below here, and it's going to open up with an image that has the name. So joespizzeria.png, save that to my computer. I can then use that in offline flyers. I can put it on websites, wherever I want to put this QR code. I can charge businesses for this service basically. You can charge offline businesses money for these QR codes, and you can see how quick and how easy they are for you to create and to also provide tracking for those QR codes. So that's how the plugin works. If you have any questions at all, please